We're on Netflix! And as you can tell from the title of the video, today we are celebrating your girl's Netflix debut. So, remember last time I said that I was going back to my healthy lifestyle? Guys, I did good. I mean, the past week, like, you can ask my family. I got my kale, I got my Greek yogurt, pomegranate, granola. Bona, I've been on that tip. So, the occasion calls for a bit of indulgence. And it's red. I mean, like, if you didn't get it, because Netflix is red. Gosh, I'm so cheesy. If you haven't heard, where you been? But, like, the dopest South African horror series has recently started streaming on Netflix called Dead Places. And I play the character of Emily. So basically in this series, it is about an author named Will Stone, who is, he sees dead people, literally. And, you know, he can feel ghosts and stuff, and he writes this really very in detail series of books about that. And he's also kind of searching for the truth behind what happened to his sister. It's not his little sister, to his sister when they were still little, many years ago. And you are just taken on this hectic ride, and at the end there's like all these twists and turns and stuff. It is amazing. So if you have watched it already, please comment and tell me what you thought about this series. If you haven't, I mean, like, totally check it out and then come back and tell me what you thought about it. So in this series, I play the character of Emily, who is Joe, Will's driver, Joe's daughter. So yeah, so there's this really sweet, emotional moment between Joe and his daughter, and there's like a whole story behind that. So I'm just basically going to tell you guys about the audition process, like what my audition was like, and also generally the experience of being on set and what that was like, and then up until now. Okay. So my audition for this role, interesting story, and this drills home the fact, I should probably put a mirror up there to make sure that I'm not speaking with like a mouthful of food, but I think I'm a pretty neat eater. So this drills home the fact that I have said a number of times, I believe, on previous videos, when I got this audition brief for the character that I didn't get, I knew from the moment I opened the email from my agent. So this was back in 2019. It was in July, I think, July of 2019. I got this audition brief. They were like, new Netflix series, da-da-da. So obviously, guys, I've had Netflix on a vision board since January 2018. That I've been praying consistently to get onto Netflix. So now the prayer has to become more specific. But hey, the God that I serve answered the prayer, right? So I got this brief, right, for a different character. And when I opened the email from my agent and I read the character description, I knew right then and there that I was not going to book that role. Not because I felt like I couldn't do it or I was second guessing my talent or whatever, but because when I read the character description, I knew that as soon as I stepped in front of the camera, I'd look way too young for this character and it just wouldn't be believable. So I said to myself, cool, I'm not going to book this role. But when I read the script and I read the dialogue for the audition, I loved it so much. It's so nice when you get a script for an audition that you can do so much with. And I got so excited. I was like, okay, cool. I know I'm not going to book this role, but I'm going to go like 250% on this audition, give them a memorable performance so that they just like, listen, find something for this girl, okay? And basically that's my strategy for every single audition. So I get to the audition and it was pretty chilled. I remember it was like those strict auditions where they like give you a time slot. So it's not those where you're gonna sit and wait for a long time in the audition room. So I got there and we got straight to the point. And when I was done, it was a very, very intense audition, like very emotional. Well, there was two. There was a light-hearted one and the last one was quite heavy, quite emotional. And yo, guys, like I went there. I proper went there. I remember I was like shaking when I was done. So when I was driving home, I was like, okay, cool. I think we accomplished what we wanted to do. And then from then, I was just like, Lord, it's in your hands. And I was literally just praying that some door would open. Fast forward to September. It was beginning of September, and then my agent called me and she was like, hey, do you remember the audition that you did for that Netflix series? And I was like, yeah, obviously. And she's like, okay, cool. Well, they want to offer you a role based off of the audition that you did, because, you know, you were not the right fit for that audition. You look way too young to play that character. And so they want to offer you a role. Once again, it's a much younger role. Are you keen to play this? I'm like, listen, send me the stuff. So obviously I say yes, and everything gets sent through, everything gets done. And like, I remember that week I was already having such an incredible week because I had just signed my contract with Scandal. So like, you know, those weeks where like you've just had a rough couple of months and then boom, doors are just opening left, right and center. So we signed the contracts and, you know, get everything sorted, call sheets, whatnot. And that was it. I was about to go shoot my Netflix episode. The day of the shoot, I remember I arrived at the base location, because if you have watched the show, you will notice that there are a lot of locations. Like if you're paying attention, there are so many locations on the show. Beautiful locations. It was shot all over, like in various locations in Johannesburg, various locations in Cape Town, up to Cradle of Humankind, Tabazimbi. Like, guys, beautiful. It just makes you want to go on a road trip. I don't know about you, but after watching it, I actually felt like going on a road trip. Minus the haunted places, but just like, guys, our country's beautiful. OM freaking G. Okay, cool. So I get there, and I remember the first thing that shocked me was how small the crew was. And this was pre-COVID, so I had been used to getting to the location and there's like, yay, who busy, you know what I mean? Like every department has got a bunch of people and it's just like tons and tons of people behind the scenes. This was so chilled and like so few people like at the base location. And then I had a chat with the director and he was like, oh yeah, no, this is how we prefer to work. It's a very small, very intimate crew, and like we do the most. And guys, they really did the most. I got to the first location, and that is where I met Rea Rangaga. He plays my character's father. Very professional guy. In fact, everybody on the set was like super professional. It's like you get there, you do what you need to do, and you bounce. So like every single production that you work on will be different. Like it won't be the exact same thing. Every production has its own vibe, has its own like way that they do things. And also every cast that you work with will not be the same. So yeah, as I said, it was a very small, intimate set, and I think my favorite set. So I shot on 2 different sets. My favorite one to shoot, my favorite scene, was the one in the restaurant. So it took the longest to shoot because they worked very hard to get the ambiance of the room like just right. And whenever I shoot, especially like when I'm now on a new production, as much as I'm there to like do my thing and like do the most with the assignment that I'm there for, I also love to just like take in and learn as much as possible, because I always believe that the job that you are currently doing prepares you for the next one, and that's always been my experience. So I never miss an opportunity to like learn and, you know, take away from it as much as possible. So it was so interesting and just so thrilling to just stand there and just watch how everyone, you know, taps into their creative space to create whatever it is that they need to create. So every cinematographer that you work with will have a different process. Every art director, everyone is just like in the zone. And I remember just standing there in the corner and just like watching and just like a sponge, you know. And it's always nice when you work on a production where you can actually ask questions and they are like so open to answer your questions and tell you a little bit about the production and all of that. And I remember I met Gareth Crocker, and he was like also like super busy on his laptop because he's an author, as I mentioned. And the director, and it was so nice, you know, to just like a short time, is that a sentence, as I was on set, I went away with so much, you know, I learned so much. And I always value those kind of experiences because, man, it's not just about your screen time, you know, it's also about what you learn behind the scenes and what you can take from that job and how that can add to your journey and to you, not just as a person, but as an actor, as a creative. I'm actually meeting up with some friends, so I better get going.
Yeah, no, of course. Okay, let me not hold you up. Have a great day, and happy birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure.
So yeah, basically I think from this experience, what I definitely want to highlight is just my faith, first of all. So the fact that being on Netflix or breaking onto Netflix, debuting on Netflix, had been a prayer item of mine from January of 2018, and that a year later, God answered that prayer. It's like just a huge testament to how faithful God is, and I'm just so grateful for faith and for grace and for hope. And secondly, can I just give myself a shout out? Like, can I just give myself a shout out? Like, right after God, can I also get a shout out? Because the fact that it's taken me these couple of years to get to a point where I'm so confident with auditioning, and I have developed this strategy when it comes to auditioning and how I approach my auditions, to the point where I know, like, I can tell, combined with faith, combined with, you know, my skill set as an actor, just, you know, like, guys, come on. So yeah, I'm very, very proud of myself, and I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so excited for the next chapter. And I'm so excited, or rather I'm so proud of myself for not giving up, and to just like riding each wave and really knowing how to build myself up whenever I get to a point where, you know, it's getting a bit too tough. Refer back to the video where I spoke about you needing people around you that are going to be that support system. Lastly, I just want to encourage you to celebrate every single victory, every win, no matter how small it might seem to you or to others. Never trivialize. Is it trivialize? Never like dim down your achievements and your wins, and don't let anybody around you like minimize the stuff that you have accomplished, because trust me, every small win leads up to the big thing. And always see the bigger picture, and always remember that there was a point when you were praying for what you have now. So don't ever take it for granted, or like not appreciate the doors that God opens for you. Always show up, have that faith, and always like have that attitude of gratitude. We've established that I'm cheesy for days, but it's true. Always have that attitude of gratitude, guys. I promise you, it will open doors. Speaking of celebrating small wins, I'm sitting on 80 subscribers. Guys, there's something that you must know about me. I will celebrate 80 subscribers as much as I will celebrate 80,000 subscribers, okay? That's just the type of person that I am. Like, I'll always see it as there are 80 people who came onto this site, watched my videos, and said, yes, I definitely want to see more of this person. 80 people, okay? Like, can you just picture 80 people in front of you? So that's always how I look at things. I'm like a silver lining type of person. I actually decided that when I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to do some crazy, weird YouTube challenge. I've seen quite a few that I thought were rather interesting. So when I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a YouTube challenge, and then we're officially on hashtag road to 1K. You guys are literally my day ones. Like, do you understand? We are a family. So before I keep rambling, thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. Please do go check out their places if you haven't already, and just let me know what you think. If you have, like, hoy that comment, tell me what your thoughts are, tell me how it left you feeling, what stood out for you, what you absolutely loved, what you hated, whatever. Like, let me know what your thoughts are about the show. Please do click the subscribe button to make sure that you catch my next videos. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. And that is it for today's tea time, and I will see you on the next video.